Hi, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been with us before, welcome back. And if you just slid by, saw the title, and decided to click on, welcome. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hi, Kita travelers. I am Key, and I had to do my travel little intro. But today, I had to make sure I'm on. Okay. Today, we are going to be doing a story time. And y'all know how I love my story time. So this story time is gonna be real cute and short, y'all. This one is about if you saw the title, this is about a flight attendant that just didn't like us. Okay, she just didn't like us. I don't know why, but let me explain. All right, y'all. I always I don't think hubby likes this about me, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me, right? If y'all new to my channel, then y'all probably don't know this about me. If y'all watch my channel before, y'all probably kind of get a hint of it about me. But I'm the type of person that I like to check myself when something ain't right, than checking somebody else. Okay. So whenever something don't feel about right in a situation, I I try to stop and evaluate me, right? Now okay, sometimes if I think I'm right, you know what? I digress. But majority of the time I like to check me, right? So this particular morning, now y'all, I done told y'all about my Delta story time. And if y'all didn't hear about my Delta story time, go ahead, look in the story time archives after you watch this one to hear that one, okay? But it was a little gate agent issue, right? So this one, we went ahead and we have more. I like morning flights. Now, let me tell you why. I like to make sure my vacation is going early. Now coming back, I like the latest one they can find. I don't care. I don't care. You can send me at 10 p.m. Okay. I won't stay on vacation as long as I can stay on vacation, right? Okay. So this one was we were going. Now usually when we going, we all like, it's time to go. It's time to go. We ready, we excited, right? We don't get too excited because now it's just like, okay, we're going on a vacation again. Yay. But we still happy about the situation, right? We still like, okay, ready to see what we gonna see and do what we gonna do, right? Okay. So we went ahead and was about to get on the plane or whatnot. But before we was about to get on the plane, they told us we had a little delay, right? It was me and hubby, you know. And so we were like, dang, because we standing up there, because usually hubby likes to stand and be ready to get on the plane before the plane can be bought, right? Because he be ready to go, right? So he went and he's like standing in the line and he like, come on, let's go, let's go. And I'm like, hold on, they ain't even call us yet. He like, no, 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 it's time to go. So we standing up there waiting or whatever, and the they not calling us to board yet, but it said it's time for us to board, but they're not calling us to board, right? Right. So next thing you turn around, they said it's gonna be a 10 to 20 minute delay. They're waiting on the crew, right? So we're like, wow, okay, because the plane had been sitting there a minute. Okay, so they said, everybody kind of talking and asking questions and stuff like that, and it's only been 10 minutes, right? They say they're coming from another flight and they have already landed and they should be over shortly to take us, right? So we like, okay. So hubby's still standing. Well, we standing because he ready. As soon as they say we ready, he ready because we ready, right? So we standing there. Yo, I'm just being a little dramatic, okay? But that's how it felt. It felt like we was on go, okay? So we standing still at the gate waiting to board. And 10 minutes passed, 15 minutes passed, 20 minutes passed. Still no crew. So we're like, okay. So at this point, I'm going back to sit down. Hubby, you could stand up there and wait and call me when, it's time to board. But yeah, your girl is going to sit down, right? So I go sit down. When I go to sit down, hubby's still standing there. He still got our bags because he know we about to go, you know, first or whatnot. Because we in group one. So he's still standing there. So the crew still hasn't come. So about maybe 25 minutes or so, the crew comes. And so everybody start clapping. Yay! The crew is walking up. Well, the crew don't look happy about it. The crew is like, so hubby was like standing where the crew was like trying to walk past or whatever. So the young lady was like, excuse me or whatever. So he moved out the way, let him pass or whatever. Because again, everybody's, giving them a round of applause. We just happy. They happy. They happy to be there, but they don't look happy. They look like they didn't had a day from WEL hockey sticks. Okay. So they not happy. They not smiling. They just not happy, right? So they said give them a few minutes. They have to do whatever they have to do or whatever, whatever. So at this point, hubby came back and sat down because now they just doing the most, right? So he comes sit down or whatever, and he was like, I leaned over and I was like, they don't seem like they're happy. And he was like, I don't care if they're happy as long as they get us to where we going, right? He just brushed it off. So I was like, okay, bet. So it's time to board. So before we have to board, they went ahead and they did the people with the wheelchairs. They did military. They do all their preliminaries before they call group one, right? So um, hubby started getting up after the wheelchairs because he's like, okay, it got to be up. And the gate agent was like, no, 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 we need military, and they doing their preliminaries or whatever. So at this point, I'm standing next to hubby. We on go. It's time for vacation. Okay. So we go to they finally call group one. So we go ahead to go and get on or whatever. Cause like I always tell hubby, our seat ain't going nowhere. Like I make sure I pick our seats. If you're new here, seats are important. My bags are important. Everything else, I'm good with. Those are the two important things to me when I get on the plane. Okay. So I went ahead and I was like, seats ain't going nowhere. Those are paid for. We good. So anyway, but he still likes to get in, get comfortable, whatever, before the flight starts. I get it. I understand it. I ain't tripping. He likes to put the bags up because he carries all the bags. And, he likes to get comfortable, whatnot. So we get on the plane. He puts the bags up, everything, gets all our electronics, plug up everything, get all situated for the flight or whatnot, right? So as he's doing this, the flight attendant comes over and she says, all those bags need to go up in the top part and to take off. We group one, right? So the only bag we had down was our little personal bag, but it had all electronics. We were getting ourselves situated. So she was like, all those bags need to go up to the top. And I was like, it's one bag. Just it needs to go to the top. Okay. And hubby had I had like this little like fanny pack around me, like that I carry passport and everything. And that also needs to go in the bag. But it's my person. Like it's okay, you know what? We're not gonna argue with you. So hubby continued to plug up the electronics or whatever. And so she turns back around and she was like, that needs to go to the top. Now, mind you, we group one. There's still an empty plane because that needs to go up there. If she would say that needs to go up there before we take off, great. So again, they obviously wasn't having a good day. So I was like, "You done, hubby, with whatever you was putting up there, whatever?" He was like, "Yeah, but go ahead, put it up." So I went ahead and put it up. Well, hubby went ahead and put it up, but I went ahead and got my stuff out or whatever, and took my thing around so he could put that up too. So we did that. We sit back. So we sit back down. Um, she's like standing in her little like galley area, and people coming in, and she greeting them, and she leans over to me, and she was like, "Make sure y'all put your seatbelts on." Okay, thank you. No, they need to be on before takeoff. Mind you, did I say we were in group one? Okay, okay, people still coming on the plane. Like she leaned over while people still walking on. Make sure you put your said okay. So I went ahead, put my seatbelt on. Hubby puts his seatbelt on. We sit back, put our headphones on. And at this point, okay, you're not having a good day. You ain't about to ruin mine. Okay. So we put our headphones on. And she taps me and she said, "You can't have it on when we do the when they do the announcements or whatever. Y'all can't have the music on." Okay. Still, people still coming in playing. Again, we were group one. Okay. Okay. So she went ahead and so I like took my headphones off. Hubby kept his on. But she didn't say anything after, she told me that and I took mine off. Okay. So she comes back and um they close the door and do their whole, thing of getting ready to board. I mean, getting ready to take off and all that stuff. And they walk around. She's looking to make sure her little section. Because mind you, we are in the front. We are first class. So then she goes and she starts asking everybody on this side of us, on the opposite side of us, behind us, what they want to drink. They the drink to take off, right? So she was asking them what they wanted to drink. So me and her be like looked at each other like, okay, and she just continued, just passed us. So was like, okay, that's fine. So when she walked back and she was going in her galley, um, I was like, hello, can I get a Sprite? And hubby was like, he didn't want anything. I just asked her because she passed me up. I didn't really want anything. I just asked her because she passed me up, right? So she was like, sure. So she went back there. She did it. She came back. She gave me my Sprite or whatever, and she did her little thing. We sat down to take off. After that, after we took off and we up in the sky and everything, and seatbelt signs are off and all that, we just sitting back. At this point, I'm dozing off. Hubby is like, he into his game. He's playing a game on his phone. We Gucci. So she goes to ask everybody for snacks, right? Like if they wanted anything for snacks. So of course she passed us. So I looked at her and I was like, and so he was like, I don't want none of these snacks. Like I'm ready for vacation. Like he ain't even tripping on it, right? So I'm like, and the flight's not that long, so it's not like it's a food service or anything like that. It's just snacks, right? So I was like, I should ask her, but you know what? I'm halfway asleep. Let me go ahead and get my snooze on. I'm not paying this lady no mind. So after she did that, she came back around, and I still had the Sprite sitting there. And she was like, she asked me, she was like, "Are you gonna drink it? Oh, you need ice?" Now she's asking, right? And I was like, "Oh no, no, I'm good," So she was like, "Okay." She went that down. So then a guy comes from the back, and he starts working up there. So he's like really nice to us, and talking and laughing and all that good stuff, right? So he walks to the back, and as he walks to the back, she comes back to me, and she was like, "Are you gonna drink that or what?" And I said, "Actually, I'm not. So you can take it." And so she did, or whatever. And so we sitting there. So towards the end of the flight, when we were about to land or whatever, she comes over and she was like, so I looked at her because he was looking out the window taking pictures and stuff. He looked at me and we said something. We started laughing, and she looked at us. She was like, "Y'all have the prettiest smile." And oh my gosh, y'all are really y'all think y'all going on vacation? Unless she won't talk. So I'm thinking it's kind of weird. Like girl, what is wrong with you? Like something wrong with you? But you could tell she wasn't having a great night or whatever. And because we didn't give her that energy that she wanted, right? I don't think she knew how to take it. But we didn't care. Like we going on vacation. We going on vacation. We like okay, but like she ain't like us. I don't care. But at the end of the flight, like when we were getting off or whatever, I was like, thank, because I always tell every flight attendant, thank you so much because their job can be very testing or whatever. And I was like, thank y'all so much. And I looked at her and I said, I hope y'all have a good night. And she was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And like she like kind of like loosened up after that or whatever when we were getting off the flight. But I was like, she ain't like us, y'all. I don't know. I don't know how y'all would have handled it. Let me know down in the comments. But thank y'all for watching. And again, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And if you came here to just hear my story times, because I love to do story times, and I always do story times, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. That at the bottom, and hit my story time button where you can watch all my story times. And with that being said, peace.